Well, howdy, you guys. Teresa here. Oh, y'all. It's still October 6th. Now it is like 8:16 p.m. And Bradley's at work. His first night at work. And, once you worked, retail, register, checking out people's stuff. The shelves is all pretty much the same, so I don't think he'll have any problem. I just hope his back will be okay. His hat came in. I didn't tell you guys, but a couple of days ago, I've been wanting to get him like a fishing cap. He always wears baseball caps. I was wanting to get him like a fishing one. And I've been looking at, even before we moved to Florida, for something that was kind of, about fishing. Looked out the other day on eBay, I found one that was like, and they were here in Florida, so we got charged sales tax, of course, but, free shipping. I think it was like $6.87. It says hooked on fishing, and it was really cute. It's black, and then it had the graphics, and he sent me a picture of it, and it looked real good on him. He checked him out because our post office is right next to where he works. This RV is really getting packed. Really, really packed. It passes elbows, as my friend would say. And a lot of people with animal stuff. There's people have come just in carloads of people. And they don't even have tents or anything, and they're just kind of sitting out in lawn chairs. I think they've rented the spaces, and then they just plan on sleeping in their cars or something. Don't know, but I know what that's like, and they had to have some place to go, so a lot of people with dogs. For that reason, I'm waiting until Brad gets home to take these guys out, because there's people like, not the next space. The space right next to us, the electricity doesn't work. So if somebody stays there, they'll have to be somebody with a generator, or they won't need electricity. But one space, they were going to be right next to us, and I told them, I said, that electricity doesn't work there. They've moved one spot over, but they've got like 3 little dogs, like the mini pens, cute. But there's people walking all over right now with all different kinds of animals and their dogs, stuff. It's about 80 degrees. The high was 82. The low will be 75. It's just slight breeze. It's comfortable enough. I mean, it's a little warm for me. I'm probably going to wet down my shirt here a little bit because our AC in back started leaking. So now we don't have any air conditioning. So, just using fans. It is what it is. This is the first night in a long time I've had, Brad goes fishing and stuff, but, I had where, more time to myself. In a way, it's kind of nice, but then in a way you miss them because you're used to them being around all the time for the last 6 months, or almost 7 months. But I, dusted and vacuumed and did the dishes, boiled up some eggs, had a salad for dinner with eggs on it. And finally, as I get older, my body does not like eggs. I've never tolerated eggs really well. I'm allergic to the sulfur in them anyway. But, yeah, I just not. My stomach is telling me that was not the wisest choice ever. So, haven't done any painting. Was going to, but, I don't know, I got kind of tired. I didn't take a nap today. And, they just kind of slipped away from me. And then tonight I've been, messaging back and forth with a good friend of mine. Just chit-chatting. And right now the motorhome smells really good though, because I have my tart burner going, my wax melter, and I have raspberry in there. I was thinking about this very same friend the other day, because she had gifted me with of sandalwood and eucalyptus wax melts. And I always think of her every time I use them. Good thoughts. And then this morning I was chatting with another good friend of mine who lives out in Washington. Super nice lady. Really like her. I'm so blessed to have so many wonderful friends that, you guys are my family. Because, sadly, as hard as you try, sometimes you just can't really seem to make a family connection. If the other party isn't willing, there's not really anything you can do about it. If they're not willing to go for family counseling, if they're not willing to really sit and really talk to you, I still try all the time with my daughters, and I know they love me and stuff. And, then I kind of take a step back and go, well, when I was their age, I was probably too busy too. Probably, because as you age, you want to go, will you stop and just, take 2 breaths and talk to me for a few minutes? I miss you. Hey, kid, I miss you. I think that moms always miss our kids, no matter how old they get or how old we get. We miss when they were younger and they thought we were just the bomb.com. So, I guess I've been thinking a lot more about that. Like I said, my oldest daughter's getting ready to, turn 33. Wow. Here on October 15th. I mailed off her present the other day. Just something I made her. And, I think you have a tendency this time of year to think more about it with holidays coming up and stuff. Sometimes I think I wished I would have vocalized my feelings better when I was younger. I've always had a lot of trouble vocalizing my feelings. I have a tendency to take a step back, kind of shy away from people, because I don't want to be hurt. And I think a lot of times people seem to think that I don't care about them, or I don't want to be friends with them, or whatever. And it's just fear. It's just fear. It's kind of like if I take a step back and stuff, then you can't hurt me. I know that makes no sense. That's how I am. It's like I will self-sabotage myself also if I start doing really well with something, whether or not it's a job or like losing weight or, artwork, whatever, then I will take a huge step back. It's kind of crazy. But I'm working on changing that. All you can do. You can hope that people forgive you for the mistakes you've made, like you forgive them for the mistakes they've made. Like I always tell this one young lady who I feel like is part of my family, that God doesn't create junk, and it's never hopeless. I think this time of year too, I think a lot more about suicide. Not for me. I already went down that dark path and I won't go down it again. But last month, I hate September. I lost a lot of people I love in September. And I lost 2 uncles and an aunt, all within 3 weeks span, from September to the beginning of October. Yeah, my aunt committed suicide the first week in October, 3 years ago. My one uncle died. He had AIDS. He got it through dirty needles. It doesn't matter how they get it. How one gets AIDS, you get it. But, and he was, we all knew, and he died in hospice. The very next day, my other uncle committed suicide. He had Crohn's really bad and was in a lot of pain. And then 3 weeks after that, my aunt committed suicide. Overdose of drugs. These were all siblings. I remember seeing my aunt. I went down to, I want to go to my uncle's memorial, the one that committed suicide. I got down there. Basically, if I didn't stay with my mother, so that my dad could go, he wasn't going to go, so I ended up staying with her. I really wanted to go to the memorial. I really loved my aunt and stuff, still do. And, but anyway, I did what I had to do, and I stayed there with my mom, so my dad could go. My mom got off me, and then, you know, it's a long story, not worth really going into. My aunt, when they committed suicide, showed up at my parents' house. Obviously very, very upset. And she wasn't treated very nice by the people that were there. And I couldn't stay, but had to get back because my granddaughter needed me to be at a school function that night. And I was 2 hours away, so I had to leave. Just barely made it back. I remember my aunt following me out to the garage. And she said to me, "Carrie Ann, I haven't seen you in 20 years. She said, I haven't seen you since your wedding." And I said, "Aunt Cora, that was 25 years ago." And I said, you know, and give her a hug. And I said, "I love you, and I'll talk to you later. I have to go right now." She was really struggling with a lot of things in her life. She'd had a lot of stuff happen. But to have her be gone just a few weeks later, you know, I had fully intended on when things calmed down and everybody was kind of, you know, very grief-stricken, I was going to get her address and write to her. And then I got the news that, yeah. So anybody that's ever thinking about suicide and thinks it's just kind of will be an easy way out, please really think about people you leave behind. And like I said, I've been down that dark path where I no longer wanted to be here. I even attempted, and by the grace of God, I made it. 10 more minutes, and the paramedics said that they would not be able to save me. I took one look at my granddaughter. They put me on a 3-day hold in a psych hospital, which is mandatory. That was after they got done working with me at the hospital for hours. You know, medically. I don't remember any of this, of course. Once they finally had me stabilized and where I could be transferred, the next day was visiting hours. My little granddaughter was 2 at that time. And she came running in there. Nana, Nana, Nana. And I took one look at that precious little girl. And I thought, I almost never saw you again. Because of my own selfishness. Because I wanted to take the easy way out. I almost never saw her again. And I would have left my husband and my children and even my grandchildren with that haunting thing of, could they have done something? Was it something they'd done? So my message is to any of you that are thinking that you'd like to flirt with death, don't even attempt suicide. Because you know how many people we probably have buried that just thought they were just attempting? It's that one unforgivable sin, and this is just what I've taught in my religious belief. It is that one unforgivable sin that God will never forgive you for. And I'm not talking about, suicide, assisted suicide or anything. That's a whole nother thing. Nothing that is wrong in your life is something that will last forever. Death does. Death does. I know a young man who decided, he was in his 20s, got into a fight with his girlfriend, decided to go in the bedroom. She thought he was in there playing Xbox or whatever, and shot himself. He is permanently brain damaged. Permanently brain damaged. But nothing you're going through is hopeless. Is ever hopeless. Look at what you're going through and look at somebody else, and you'll see somebody with some real hardship that's just grateful to be alive. You're not allowed to be so selfish to take away the life that God gave you. Everything can be worked through. Just don't even play with it. Don't even play with flirting with death. Life is too precious. And if you talk to somebody and they don't listen, keep talking until somebody does. It doesn't mean the first counselor you get is going to be the right fit for you. It doesn't mean that the first doctor you get is going to be the right one for you or put you on the right medication. It takes a while to have all that sorted out. But it's like baby steps. Baby steps. If you have to sit there and go minute by minute, put on a funny movie, listen to happy music, not sad. Don't let any negativity be around you because it will bring you down. But please, for the love of God, if you need help, keep reaching. There is nothing wrong with being on medication if that's what you want to be. And just because you put on medication doesn't mean you're going to have to stay on it forever. A lot of medication a lot of times is made to be a band-aid, to be used for a short while till you learn how to cope with the situation better, or the situation resolves itself, or you get through that difficult time in your life. Think about it this way. Think about if you lost your job all of a sudden. You might need to go on some medication to help you cope with that all of a sudden. But would you stay on it forever? No. Once you've got another job, things got better in your life, you'd go on. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. But I mean, if the way I look at it now is if you commit suicide, you're not only ending your life, you're destroying the lives of everybody you love and that loves you. This will haunt them forever. I have seen it so many times. I've talked to you guys before about this little 15-year-old boy that lived right across the street from me, Eric. And he used to come over to my house all the time. He used to play with my nephew who lived on the next block. They would come over all the time and jump on my trampoline. Or sometimes he'd just stop by and talk to me. I talked to him the night before, the night he committed suicide. He stopped by. I didn't think anything of it. I was sitting out front. Nice summer night. Stopped by, just chit-chat, and then he says to me, I want to thank you for always being so nice to me. You've always been so nice to me. And I was just kidding around, well, weird, My husband called me the next day. He was at work and found out that this young man had committed suicide. And I always wonder over the years watching, because he was the same age as my nephew, when they graduated high school, when they went to the prom. As my nephew's lives have progressed, what he would be like. Look at these kids that struggle so hard, or anybody that struggles so hard with cancer. A lot of times they don't make it. They would give anything to be in your shoes. You know, so I'm just pleading with anybody that's going down that deep path. Don't be ashamed that you're fighting depression. Don't be ashamed that you're having these thoughts. But please, please get help. Get help. There's nothing wrong with having to go into a hospital and get yourself sorted out. You know, so I hope my story and what I've shared helped anybody. It's just something that's been on my mind a lot, and I just wanted to put that out there. So, anyway, hope everybody's doing okay, and I hope anybody that's in the path of the hurricane is safe. And as always, I love you guys, and I do cherish your friendship so much. And I think you guys are awesome. And I will talk to you later. Thanks for keeping me company. Bye.